What's up, guys? What's going on? Happy Wednesday. In this presentation, guys, I want to talk to you guys about in this presentation we're going to talk about the Horn effect. And someone left a comment and they wanted me to talk about the Horn effect. Now, the Horn effect is opposite from the halo effect. The Horn effect is when people don't like the way you look and they perceive you a certain way. Because they don't like the way you look. Since they don't like the way you look, they perceive you in a negative way. In the urban community, a lot of blacks will dislike you because you're not hood. You're not a gangster. You don't sell drugs. You don't kill people. So Negroes will dislike you because of that. But the Horn effect is real, guys. And a lot of people would try to deny the Horn effect and say it's not real, say it's not a real phenomenon. But I'm telling you guys, the Horn effect is definitely a real phenomenon. Whether you want to believe it or not, the Horn effect is real. The Horn effect is real. And this is the reason to why some people get discriminated against. This is the reason to why some people get labeled, in negative ways. This is the reason why some people, have the issues that they have because of the Horn effect. It's not a game, guys. This thing about the Horn effect is definitely real. And this is the reason why some people get treated the way that they get treated in life, because they don't meet a certain social norm or social standard. I don't believe no one should be mistreated because they don't fit a certain standard, but you got some people, they don't believe in playing by the rules in life. And some people believe in just being a degenerate, and some people, they will treat a person bad because they don't like the way they look. I don't believe in doing it, but it's a lot of people that do believe in treating people bad because of their physical appearance or because they don't fit a certain standard. In the urban community, other brothers and sisters in the urban community, other brothers and sisters will have an issue with you because you're not hood. You're not from the projects. You don't gang bang. Because in the urban community, the sad part about our culture is that it's only one way to be in our culture. There is no diversity in our culture in the urban community. It's all about being a gangster. It's all about going to prison and effing up your life. Street cred is the coolest thing in the world in the urban community. If you want to be cool in the urban community, you got to have street cred. You got to go to prison. You got to F up your life. You got to have bodies under your belt. All of that stupid foolishness, because that's what our culture is about, sadly. But a lot of people would try to deny the Horn effect. The same way people would try to deny the halo effect, that's the way they would try to deny the Horn effect as well. But the Horn effect is more vicious than the halo effect, because at least with the halo effect, people perceive you in a more positive light, And I truly believe that a person's mentality and their way of thinking boils down to where they come from. Because when I run into people who are from different states, I notice that they tend to have a certain mentality. They don't think like people in the South. So I believe where you grow up at and who you grow up around shapes your way of thinking. Because I notice people who are from different states, they tend to have different value systems and they just have a total different way of thinking. I was raised in the South, so our culture is a certain way down here. When you go to up north, when you go out west, I'm sure it's a whole different culture and it's a whole different way of thinking. But the Horn effect is vicious, guys, because the Horn effect will make people perceive you in a negative light. It'll make people come up with all of these negative assumptions about you that they can't necessarily prove. And I never believed in judging people negatively just by the way that they look. Maybe it's because I got a good heart. I'm not a narcissistic a-hole. But most people are narcissistic a-holes nowadays. Just like Ringo TV Ross say, most people are possessed by the devil. They got demons operating in them. They got demons in them. And This is why certain people will judge people. I understand people will judge folks, but I just never had that kind of heart to just negatively judge people just because of how they look. I never been that kind of person, guys. Never been that kind of dude. I never believed in just, writing a person off or just judging them in a negative way, all because of how they look. That's just never been the kind of person that I am. I never been that kind of dude. But I know a lot of people are like that. A lot of people, if you don't act a certain way or if you don't have a certain mentality, a lot of people will jump to these conclusions about you as a person. And the Horn effect is it's a very brutal reality. That's one way I can sum up the Horn effect. It's very brutal. It's very uncut. It's an untamed gorilla. It's very vicious, the Horn effect. And the Horn effect is one of them things that can really it can really hinder you in life, because if people have a negative perception of you, that can hold you back. Now, I believe other ethnic groups of people perceive me in a more positive light, because I notice when I'm around other ethnic groups of people, they tend to perceive me in a more positive light, and that, that's no coincidence that other ethnic groups of people perceive me in a more positive light, because their value system is different and their culture is different. See, in the urban community, we value being head busters. We value drinking promethazine. We value selling dope. We value toting choppers with extendos. That's what we value in our culture. We value ignorant BS. So when you're being judged by ignorant BS, of course, your own people are going to feel negatively about you. But I notice I don't really get perceived negatively by other ethnic groups of people. And if they do perceive me in a negative light, they're not letting me know how they feel about me. The halo effect, man, a lot of people try to deny it, but it's real. And the halo effect is real, and the Horn effect is real. I don't believe in treating people bad. That's one thing about me. I don't believe in, mistreating folks. I don't believe in bashing folks. I don't believe in doing none of that stuff. I believe in treating people the way, God intended for you to treat people. But some people don't believe in treating folks like that because they got demons in them. And and a lot of Negroes especially got demons in them. I'm pretty sure there's other ethnic groups of people that got demons in them. But in the urban community, we definitely got a lot of demons that live within us. That's why we kill each other the way we do. That's why we bust each other's heads the way we do, because those are demons at work. But the halo effect, guys, is definitely a real thing. I would rather have the halo effect than to have the Horn effect. I don't want the Horn effect, because the Horn effect is more devious. The Horn effect is more devious than the halo effect. That's why I say I'd rather have the halo effect than the Horn effect. But and you got a lot of people in the world, guys, that are just they just got the devil in them nowadays. I believe this is why people are more vicious nowadays. It seems like people have gotten more vicious. People have bad attitudes. They negative. They very aggressive. People are just not the way they used to be back in the old days. It seemed like when I was a kid, people just had better hearts. People will definitely judge you in a negative way nowadays. I believe it's because they got the devil in them. It's Satan at work. It's Satan at work, just like Ringo TV say. It's demons at work. And a lot of people got demons in them. And you got people, you can have a good personality, you could treat people right, and you got people that will still perceive you in a negative light. You want to know why? Because they got demons in them. They got demons in them. I truly believe the reason why some people perceive certain people in a negative light is because the devil is at work. It's Satan that lives within them. That's what it is. It's the devil. And that's why they perceive certain people in negative ways. See, me, I've always had a good heart. I've never believed in doing people wrong, but I understand that most people in this world don't have good hearts. And it's a lot of people that believe in doing other folks wrong. You got people who just are heartless nowadays. I'm not a heartless person, never have been. You know, I'm just an empathetic person. I feel for other people. I feel for other people, I really do. You know, but you know, that's the world we live in, guys. You know, that's the world we live in. The Horn effect will make you live a life of hell, you know? And a lot of you guys that's watching this presentation, you guys are giving people the Horn effect. And that's why your life has been hell. But all I can say is just try to continue to be the best person you can be. And just try to live your life. Because it's not like you wanted to give people the Horn effect. People just perceive you in a negative light. And if people perceive you in a negative way, there's nothing you can do about that. You can't control the way people feel about you. You can't control how folks feel. If people feel negative about you, if you're giving society the Horn effect, and this is what I want to say before I conclude this presentation, guys. If you're giving people the Horn effect, if you're giving people a negative impression of you, and you trying to be the best person you can be, just continue to try to be the best person you can be. Because you can't help if people think you're ugly. You can't help if you're giving people the Horn effect. So just let that marinate and you know, and allow that to give you some kind of peace of mind. If you're giving folks the Horn effect, you can't help it. Have a good day, guys. Happy Wednesday.